How you doing?
I'm good, girl. How are you?
I'm great. Now, I have to ask, being a black woman in America that is also in love with Brad Pitt, did he have anything to do with you taking on this project?
You know what? I don't know, Carla. I have no idea. All I know, I auditioned like everybody else, and Brad is with Brad Pitt's company. So, hey, Brad, how you doing? I haven't seen him, but I'm sure he's somewhere making moves. Thank you, Brad.
I saw this at the Sundance Film Festival where I ran into you there as well. It's directed by Joe Talbot. It's written by Talbot and Jimmy Fails. You play Jimmy's auntie, Wanda, who has all the family belongings after the family home had been repossessed, and he comes to you to get the family belongings back to you. But I also noticed that in the process of this film, you are literally the only female character in the film.
Yes, what I represent for Jimmy is the mother figure he never had. I think what Wanda represents for him is grounding, is consistency, is his solid, is his good memory, is the closest thing that he had to a mother figure. So Wanda represents in this film, which I love the fact that there is no love interest. The love interest is the house, but she represents grounding for him, his reality, his touch of reality, his connection to his childhood. That's what I loved and wanted this role so bad, because she's not that typical aunt. She's in a blazing relationship. She moved out of San Francisco, so she, Jimmy looks up to her. He trusts her. She's probably the one person other than Montgomery that he does trust.
One of the main issues of the film is gentrification in San Francisco.
Yes.
How much did you know about the city of San Francisco and that history attached to it before taking on this film?
Back in 1991, when I first moved to Los Angeles, I was homesick for New York. I'm a born and raised Jamaica Queens girl. So when I moved to LA in 91, I was homesick. I missed kind of the cool of the cold weather. I missed the winters. I missed the culture. So I used to fly to San Francisco just to get my feel for New York, so I could get, wouldn't be so homesick. And I didn't know that San Francisco was so rich in culture. I knew culturally it was the closest thing that I could get to something that was like New York. But learning all San Francisco's history is very interesting. And that's what I loved about doing this movie as well. I just learned a whole lot. Even talking to local San Franciscans and people from Oakland and people that have been there. I didn't even know Danny Glover was from San Francisco. I had no idea.
Wow.
So it's a lot of stuff that I learned, doing this project.
I saw an interview that you did maybe a day ago where you talked about The Last Man in San Francisco showing black men in a vulnerable state, specifically them not being arrested and sitting in a police car. And I just wanted to expound on that subject a little bit to see why it was so important for you to be a part of a project that does show black men like that. I mean, we have this limited series online right now with Ava DuVernay's Central Park 5.
I got a role in that and I couldn't do it. Tell you which role.
Oh, I was like, can you tell me which role?
I can't. I knew that was the next question. I ain't gonna tell you. But yes, I was supposed to do that film and I couldn't do it, unfortunately. And I'm so honored that Ava asked to do it. Carla, so many times we've become conditioned to seeing black men a certain way. Even as a black woman in America, I have to check myself at times, because the media puts a fake on the black man that is just not right. It's not fair, and I don't like it. I don't like watching no talk shows. I don't like it. I just don't like it. I say black men are everything. There's so many facets to black men. I fight for black men every day. I fight for our young black boys being shot in the middle of the street with no guns. It's become a huge problem, and we're becoming conditioned to seeing the bullshit. Black men, they've evolved so much. And me as a black woman, I've evolved so much. But there's certain things that I don't have to accept. I don't accept the way America depicts black men. I don't like it. I think a film like this, for me to be in show business all 40-something years, and then here I finally got an opportunity to be a part of a project that comes from a real place, it comes from a human place, it comes from a black man. And we have to tell more of our story. And I think Joe Talbot, being a white man, I even asked him, I said, how did this happen? So Joe Jimmy told me Joe was in the trenches with him. They lived in the same area. They lived in they're from the same hood. They help each other. So this story comes from a real place. So you don't have just a white guy telling the black man's story. That white man was in this black man's story. So that makes a difference with this movie as well. It comes from a great place.